Welcome. I am going to kick us off in like 2 minutes here. So I want to let you know, so the team is obviously giving me questions that everyone's been asking, but if you have specific questions, you're here live, either watching on Facebook or you are live with us here on Zoom, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat and I will make sure that those get answered before we hop off because it's super important that you get your questions answered. Why is it so important that you get your questions answered today? Well, this is the last time we are ever selling the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program. After next week, you won't be able to join us inside this program. And so I want everyone to have absolute confidence in their decision, either to join us or not, because once it's gone, it's gone. And so we've got other things coming that we are going to be sharing. We've got something starting next year, which is why we are stopping the sales of the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program now, because it's a year-long program. And so what we've got planned for 2023 is amazing, but we've got to stop at some point with the sales of this one, just so that we can honor those contracts and all those people who decide to take this leap with us. So I'm going to be diving into everything you need to know about making this decision to work with us, what that looks like. And I want to make sure that you feel absolutely confident. Here's the thing, the hallmark of the most successful people on the planet is the ability to make a decision quickly. It is the ability to actually trust their gut, know that, there's no right or wrong perfect path, that there is clarity only after you take the step forward. I think we all kind of sit and say, I just need to have some clarity and then I'll act. You don't get clarity until you take action. So if you are someone who's like, oh, I don't know, but in your heart, you know that you are literally meant to be inside this program, that you are meant to grow your business, scale your business rapidly for the next year with us, then now is the time to join us. So I'm going to dive into some questions, and please, again, just a reminder, I have some questions already that I'll go through. These are the common questions that we get asked all of the time, but I want to make sure this is tailored to you so that if you have specific questions, you leave here with those questions answered. Because again, the Unstoppable Entrepreneurs Program will not be available after next week. There are so many of you who have been in our ecosystem for years at this point, and you've said, I'm going to join later. I'm doing it soon. Here's the deal. This ends after next week. On April 1st, we're closing doors for good so that we can service the people who join us, that we can give them our full attention so we can then move on to what we're building for next year. So if you are serious about getting the type of results that you heard from Heather yesterday, from Dr. Avis yesterday, let me just recap those for you. If you didn't catch that session yesterday, I want you to go back to your concierge and I want you to ask them for the replay, because Heather Alice Shea shared how she grew her business from low 6 figures to over 7 in less than 2 years. So she went from about, I forget the exact number, under 200,000 to her first launch ever being over 100K. She said she has never done a launch that was under 100K since working with us. She now is over 7 figures in her business. Did Heather show up and do the work? Absolutely. Did everything go perfectly in Heather's life? No. Were there hard times? Absolutely. Did she stick with it? Did she hang in there? Did she do her launch cycles? Did she commit to servicing her clients? Did she work with our team to troubleshoot and ensure her strategy was adjusted as things changed? Yes. And because of that, she now is the CEO of a 7-figure $1 million business. Then you heard from Dr. Avis, who went from, again, low 6 figures. She shared that she was mostly selling from stages in her business. So she would actually go to physical events. She did well. She would make sales, but it was all in person. She joined us right before March of 2020. And so she ended up completely shifting her model, selling virtually. She is now multiple millions of dollars in sales. She went from 6 figures to 7 figures in less than a year. And then she doubled that in the first quarter. In 3 months, she doubled that working with us. So after she's been with us now for about 2 years, she's in the multiple millions now. She has, again, just like Heather, she showed up, she did the work, she did her cycles of launching. She worked closely with our team. Both of them are incredibly coachable. They ask their questions. They're willing to try. They're willing to make adjustments. They understand that not everything is permanent, and they are willing to say, okay, this worked here. Let's do more. This didn't work here. Let's get rid of it. And they just keep moving. These women are just a tiny, tiny sample of our clients who've been successful. Tiny sample. You're going to hear from more in the next coming days. So have no fear. We have more coming. But I just wanted to recap that for you. If you are someone who is ready to stop playing small, if you are someone who is ready to go, like game on, you are doing this, you are scaling rapidly. You're not in this for baby steps one at a time. You are in this to rapidly scale your business, then this program's for you. And I just want to remind you again, after next week, April 1st, you cannot join the Unstoppable Entrepreneurs program. It won't be available for sale. It will not be available. So if you have questions, hang in here with me. I'm going to go through a bunch of them. You can, if you're live with me on Zoom, you can drop them in the chat and I will scroll through them and make sure to answer those. But this is your time. If you believe in the vision, if you believe that you are called to do this, if you believe that you have a purpose in whatever it is that you do and however you service your market, and you want to get in front of more people and you want to do it in a way that feels integrity, doesn't feel slimy and gross, in a way that serves, in a way that actually makes a difference, now is the time. So I'm going to dive into a few questions. I'm also going to drink my coffee because it's important. Y'all will get way better answers if I drink my coffee. So the first question I get is, what will I get inside the program? So if you join us inside the Unstoppable Entrepreneurs program, there's a few things that you get. I want to be very, very clear. You still will have to show up and do the work. So I'm going to go through a big, long list of everything, but this is still your business. You are still running it. We are not doing things for you, but we are giving you everything you need to successfully do that. Okay. So what do you get? Number one, you get our backend membership site. Now, this is very different than others in that it's not meant for you to just watch a bunch of videos and figure stuff out on your own. That's what most courses membership sites are, right? You're supposed to go through them, you figure them out on your own, you go in a Facebook group and ask questions. This membership site is designed to be comprehensive, A to Z, what you need to build your business. Now, when you join us, depending on where you are in your business currently, will determine what part of the site you use. So not everybody will be working on the exact same things because not everybody is coming to us in the same place. Not everyone is coming to us with the same stage of business or the same type of business. And so what we have there is meant to help you and support you at different stages of business and throughout different times of the year that you work with us. But it's going to be customized to you. How is it going to be customized to you? Let me tell you, I'm so glad you asked that. The way that we customize this to you is you have a client success team. They are going to be there to support you throughout the year as you work with us inside the Unstoppable Entrepreneurs program. They are going to do an assessment when you come in. You fill out a big old new client questionnaire where we get all the deets on your business and everything we need. We go ahead and look at that. We help you map out a plan, and then at different times in your business, they'll point you to different sections of the membership site. They'll say, okay, you're working on refining your offer. There's a whole section on how to build out a high ticket offer that makes sense for your business, for your brand, and for your lifestyle, because how you build out your offers determines the quality of your life in business. How you build your offers determines the quality of life for your business. So we're going to point you to that section. Maybe you've already got that nailed down and you really want to start making sales outside of launches. We've got an entire sales section that you can walk through. Your client success team will send you that, piece of information. Maybe you are ready to launch. You're just like, all right, put me in. I'm doing the launches. I'm doing my 5, 6, 10, 20, 50 cycles. What do I need to do? Then you would go through our live launch section. So as you go through the program, you're going to have different needs, and our client success team is going to be there to point you to the different pieces of the membership site that you need. You're not going to just go mindlessly in there through a bunch of content that you never actually implement. You're just going to use what you need at the time. So that's how our membership site's designed. The second thing you get is our high-level strategic advisory from Kelly. So every Monday, Kelly is going to join us inside the Facebook group, where she is going to do trainings on a whole bunch of different things. Now, sometimes it's very high level visionary types of stuff, right? It's the how to lead effectively in times of change, how to make decisions when the world seems a little out of control, how to optimize your performance, your health, your wellness, your mindset to lead effectively. Sometimes it'll be a little bit more tactical, where she'll be teaching on something new that we're testing and trying out. We're testing out all kinds of different marketing strategies. We're testing out different product suites. Now, we have other times where we walk you through the tactics of that. When Kelly's doing this for her strategic advisory, she's going to be teaching you how she thinks about those things. So it's not going to be, here's how to set up another product. She's going to tell you, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is the why behind it. Why is this so critical? This is so critical because at the end of the day, you have to understand how to effectively make decisions for your business. And Kelly's going to model that for you in walking you through how we make decisions here, so that you can see exactly what it looks like from someone who's been there and done that, and who is now at a different stage in business. So strategic advisory is usually one of our clients' favorite hours of the week. They absolutely love it. And they always, they're commenting on it throughout the whole week. They've got questions. Kelly will often pop in our Facebook groups and ask what you want her to talk about on strategic advisory. So it's really relevant to you and your stage of business. So that's the second thing. Second membership site, strategic advisory. On Tuesdays, we have a company-wide call. This is where we bring in experts. This is where we make sure that any new trend that we're looking at in terms of marketing, any new sales system training that you need, we bring that to the whole company so that everybody's hearing the same thing. This is also where myself and Kelly will come in, and some of our other executive leadership team will come in, and we'll do hot seat coaching with anyone on the call who needs a hot seat. So that means that you get to ask your questions in real time. That happens once a week. Okay. So that's on Tuesdays. Then throughout the rest of the week, there are cohort calls, and everyone is placed in a cohort based on their stage of business and their type of business. So when you come into the program, you fill out a new client questionnaire. We assess your business. I told you that's what we start with. Once we do that, we will place you into a cohort of people just like you in a similar stage of business. Now, the beauty of this is it's wide enough to still have people well beyond where you are, which is really important. But at least you're focused on the same things. You're really having discussions that are relevant in your cohorts. Those happen once a week, and they're all different times depending on which cohort call you end up on. So you've got the Monday live. It's just a live in the Facebook group with Kelly. That's at 10:45 in the morning, and it's recorded. So if you cannot make that, everything we do is recorded. So if you can't make it at a certain time, no worries, we've got you covered. Recordings are always sent out. That's on Monday. Tuesday, we have our company-wide call. Wednesday through Friday is when we have cohort calls at all different times, again, depending on the cohort you find yourself in. There are multiple opportunities throughout the week for you to get your questions answered on those calls. There's the Tuesday call, and then there's your cohort call. Those happen every week. So you're able to get those questions answered, but maybe you have a question outside of that. Where do you go? There's two places. We have a Facebook group that's actually really helpful. I know y'all have been in Facebook groups where nobody knows answers to anything. That's not what we have. Our entire team is in there answering questions, pointing you to the right trainings, providing you with resources, but so are our other clients. We have clients anywhere from 100,000 a year to 12 million a year in their business. We have tons of people who can provide support, provide answers. You're doing some market research. You've got plenty of people in there who are willing to comment, share their resources, share their referrals, share their recommendations, because we have an incredible community of people who are ready to support and help you. So if you've got questions, that's one place to go. If you've got other questions, you want maybe a resource, you just have a really quick, hey, I'm about to do launch and this came up, you can message your client success team. They are there to answer any questions that you have, send over any resources. Some people do this in Facebook Messenger, some people do this in email. There's plenty of ways to do that, so you can make sure that you have that access in between. So Tara, there's no office hours. We have basically a call every day. So there's 3 opportunities per week, 1 coaching with Kelly, 1 on the Tuesday call, and then your cohort call is somewhat of an office hour. However, there's usually intentional training, and we do want to make that highly valuable. So it's time for people to ask questions there as well. That is every single week you have a cohort call. So it's not office hours, but your cohort call is probably going to serve the same purpose I'm guessing that you're asking what that about. Okay, I'm going to go back through. So that's what you get inside the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program. Now we have multiple things in there that we teach you. It is not just the live launch. However, you will get access to our brand new live launch section. Kelly and I just recorded 22 new videos to walk you through the live launch. Okay, so we just recorded 22 new videos literally 3 weeks ago. They're almost uploaded and ready to go. That will walk you through the live launch as it is today, because obviously this evolves. It has a copywriting section, so you can use the templates from a copywriter that we've used in the past to actually build out your copy for your live launch. That's all in the membership site, but that's not all that we have. We are going to help you increase your visibility by leveraging PR. We are going to help you build out your high ticket offer and a suite of other offers. So depending on the stage of business, you might be building ascension offers, you might be building downsell offers. There's a whole wide range of it. We're going to help you learn our conviction marketing method. It is an incredibly unique way to market your business online without dancing, without pointing, without feeling like a fool. We're going to teach you exactly how to do that using our method. You're going to get, again, copywriting, how to write captions, all that stuff. It's in that section, how to convert on camera. Kelly did recordings on that. Then we've also got our team building section. So there's an entire section on how to start hiring your team at the beginning, right? It doesn't have to be, you don't need a team of 20. You need to get a couple of really key important players in place. So we're going to help you do that when the time is right. And then of course, we've got our sales section. We love launching. We love launching probably more than anyone else on the planet. It is how this company went from 6 to 7 to 8 figures in 18 months. Just want to put that out there. It's how we did it with live launching. If you are someone who's like, I love launching too, but I would also like to make sales outside of launch, we have an entire sales section on how to make sales daily in your business. So all of those things are covered inside our membership site. And then of course, Kelly's always adding new as more requests are made for strategic advisory. So, and we're always adding new as we bring in experts to speak on the Tuesday call. So that's what you get inside the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program. I am going to, yes, Keith, without dancing, it's the only way we do it. Okay, so yes, so everyone has a client success team. I will be clear that it's not a one-to-one kind of thing, that sometimes in your journey with us, you're going to graduate to another cohort. So you might come in at a stage of business. Well, actually, you probably will come in at a certain stage of business. You will go with that cohort until you hit our next milestone, and then you will move up to the next cohort. So it's not a one-to-one coach. We don't have, a direct thing, because sometimes those will change as you graduate through the program. Our goal is that you're in the right cohort so that you have a success team in place to get you the resources you need at the stage of business you're at. And we have graduations all the time. We have people graduating from one cohort to the next almost weekly, and that's what we want. We want you to do the same. So just an FYI on that. Okay, let's see these questions here. Okay, so I see some talk about a 9 to 5. I'm going to kind of go over who this is for, what stage of business this might be best for. So I don't know, you may or may not have been on, I think it was day 1 or maybe day 2, where Kelly shared her story that when she started this company, she was a senior vice president at a Fortune 500 job. So this is not like a normal 9 to 5. This is like a 60, 70 hour a week job that she was responsible for 17 locations in a bunch of different states. So when she started this company, she had about 3 hours a day to run her business. She basically built the business an hour before, during her lunch break, and an hour after work. We will, when you come in, help you set up what we call your CEO schedule. And that looks different for everyone. If you are full-time in your business, your CEO schedule will be a full-time CEO schedule. If you are not full-time in your business yet, you're still in your career job and you want to transition out of that, or we've had people who want to stay in their career job and just build this on the side, we will help you build out your CEO schedule so that it fits around that job. Okay. So if you are someone who's still in a career and you want to start your business on the side, we will help you do that. We always just want to remind you, it might be a little slower. You're going to have to finagle things. It's not, going to be as rapid maybe as if you were full-time. However, Kelly launched for years at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I don't remember, because she was working. So it is 100% possible. It is 100% doable. I think of countless clients who've done it. Maureen is one of our clients who came in while she was still working a full-time job. With 1 hour co-working session that we did with her, she made $13,000. Within 6 months, she went from basically an idea of what she had to a 6-figure business. She obviously went on to make multiple 6 figures after that. That was a long time ago. We've had lots of people come in at that level and be incredibly successful. So if that's a concern, we do work with you around that schedule to make sure you get what you need there. Okay. Let's see. What time are the trainings? So Monday and Tuesday calls are always at the same time. They're at 10:45 and I think 1 p.m. East. These are Eastern. Sorry, I don't know if you're on the other time zones, you can convert it. The cohort calls are all different times of day. So we have, and it just depends on the cohort that you're in. So if you are, once you join us, we'll go through your new client questionnaire, and then we will let you know what cohort you're placed in, and then we'll let you know the times for that. But there's a bunch of different ones, so I can't give you a specific one. Okay. I'm a small business reinventing and recreating myself. So Desiree said, I'm a small business reinventing and recreating myself. Is this for larger established businesses? So yes and no. We do have clients who are running multi-million-dollar businesses. We have probably one of the largest programs for millionaires that exists. So we do have very established business owners in our program. However, we also have people who've built very successful careers. They are starting their business and they've made sales, they've got some proof of concept, but they haven't really been able to scale it quickly. And so they're still solopreneurs working by themselves, or maybe sometimes they'll have, one or two contractors that they're, working with, but they don't have a full team yet. That's fine. We have absolutely helped you with that. And like I shared just a few minutes ago, we've helped lots of people who are in a corporate career, very high up in their corporate career, making great money that they had to replace, which is hard when you've got a significant salary that you're trying to replace. You've got to be really successful in business. We've helped people in that position as well. So we do have many established business owners, but we also have people who they are solopreneurs. They've, just started, they've got a successful career. What we look for is, are you committed to your vision? Are you willing to do the work? If you're newer, sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes it means your launches at the beginning will be slower. It's very different if someone comes in with no Facebook group and no email list and nothing to show for it, and someone comes in with 10,000 people. I remember Jay Massey, one of our clients, he's now a legacy leader. He had tens of thousands of people in a Facebook group already. His first launch, I think he did, I can't remember the exact numbers. It was like 550,000 in like 70 days or 60 days, like that. Why was he able to do that? Well, he already had $1 million business and a massive audience. So he came in and within days made hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, we've had people who will take 6-7 months to do something like that because they're building an audience from scratch. They don't have anything other than a few sales, maybe a couple of one-on-one clients. And so that does take more time. So we want you to be realistic about what that's going to look like for you coming in, but it's still available to you if you are willing to do the work, and it will require work. So I don't want to sugarcoat that. It's not like roses and daisies all the time. You're going to have to show up every day and you will have to do work. However, if you believe in your vision, you're passionate about what you're meant to do, you know that you can help people, and you're ready to do the work required to build what you want to build so that you can have the lifestyle and the business that you want, then we can help you do that. So that's what I would say about that. Okay. Oh, Jackson would like to know, Ty, if you're going to buy him some coffee. That's a question we got in here. So I think, sure. Ty will buy you some coffee. How does the recordings work? Oh, so that's right. We usually put the recordings for all strategic advisory and the Tuesday calls in our membership site. So you can go to the live call section of that. And then you will get emails from your cohort leaders with videos to whatever cohort calls you've got. All right, looking through. How much time do you recommend blocking out on your calendar? That's a good question. Anne asked, how much time do you recommend blocking out on your calendar to plan your live launch out before you start the marketing? So Anne, this really depends on what you already have in place. I would say that we could, map out your launch pillars, your content in probably a session, right? Like 30 minutes. Someone on our team can help you map that out. Then you have to assess, like, what do you already have made? Do you need to create graphics? Do you need to write copy? Like, you might already have some things. Maybe you already have a Facebook group. There's a lot of different factors that play into that, but you want to make sure your Facebook group is set up. You want to be able to promote it somehow right on your social media channels. So that's what you'll do before. You'll create a workbook the first time. So that is something that you have to do. You don't have to do it over and over again. You just have to do it once. But before your first launch, you're going to want to create your workbook. You'll create banners for your Facebook group and things like that. But you can start promoting right away. You'll need a landing page to send people to, and that's really it. And a landing page and an email list to connect to. So that can all be done in a week, right? That doesn't take a long time. Now, if you're working full time, if you're doing it by yourself, maybe that takes a little bit longer. But to get set up and ready to actually promote your launch and get people signed up for it, you don't need 6 months. You do need something to offer, which I happen to know, Anne, you already have. So you're already kind of coming in with that. You might want to tweak that offer a little bit. If you don't have an offer, we'll want to look at what you're going to offer. We'll want to look at your niche. So in that case, it might take much longer, 2 to 3 weeks to get clear on the offer, then build out the launch, and then create the assets to go. But if you're committed to showing up and doing it, you can easily do this within the first month and then start promoting. So it's not unreasonable. And if you're already coming to the table with some of that stuff in place, it's going to shorten that timeline down a whole bunch. So there you go. All right. I think I have all the questions from here. Oh, okay. Yeah. And that makes total sense. Liz asks how Kelly orchestrated her programs before she built a team of concierges and coaches. So, okay, let me talk to you about that. So, when this program first started, and we were launching, it was just Kelly and one other person, and they were selling straight to a sales page. There were no concierges because the cost was so significantly lower. I don't remember. I want to say it was like $400 a month, $300 a month, something really, really low. So you can do that if you're doing, low ticket. At the beginning, Kelly did her own calls when she was doing sales calls. And then that member of the team who started in that launch with her began to take on those sales calls. So at the very beginning, if you're doing this yourself, if you are someone who is launching on your own, then you will be taking sales calls in that process, and you will be messaging people. If you are someone who can get help, in that first launch, you can hire a part-time VA to just help maybe set up messages and then just take the calls yourself, where you're the one who's actually just, doing the sales conversation. There's a lot of different ways to work that. And we help you kind of figure that out when you're mapping out your launch. So it's a little bit different for everyone. Some people come to us with full teams and they just get their team in there and they get their team selling and they're ready to go. Some people come and it's just them, and then we help them figure out what that looks like. Awesome. Okay. Anything else? All right. We have a beautiful, wonderful, amazing guest. Belinda, hello. Are you able to unmute and join me on camera?
Yes. Hello. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm having a really nice, relaxing day, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Yay. Well, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, great. So my name is Belinda Sandor, and I am the founder and chief cheerleader of the Virtual Assistant Connection. And at the VA Connection, I work with established and aspiring VAs, and I help them create really the business of their dreams. And we do this, we have an online community that is about this close to hitting 22,000 people, and we have programs and coaching programs, coaching groups. And I started the business because I'd been a VA myself for 11 years. And the second year I figured out how to make it be six figures. So I was consistently earning $100,000, not with an agency, just literally with me sitting in the chair I'm still sitting in. And so I'm a big systems person. So I wanted to systematize it. And then I wanted to teach other people once I figured out that you could have a steady stream of income of clients as a virtual assistant.
Yeah. So tell me, before you started working with us, what was your go-to-market plan? How are you selling your coaching services?
Well, it's kind of a funny story because what happened was, so I was working with the coach who was amazing, and she got me all the way through my first launch. And I was never a consumer of online products. So I knew who Amy Porterfield was, but I didn't know all of these methods and launch strategies. And someone told me about the sideways sales page, whatever.
Yes.
So I read the book and I was like, okay, I don't think I can do that. And I tried to do it, and not to, throw shade on anybody, but it wasn't me. It totally wasn't me. And I said to the woman helping me with my writing, I said, if I have to come from this place, I'm not doing this. I'm done. So after we got through the first launch, and we did it more a way that felt comfortable for me so that I could be myself and come from abundance and not scarcity and all of that. My Facebook ads manager said, Kelly Roach. And I'm like, who's that? And she said, you just did a live launch. You have no idea what you just did, but you did a live launch. So being me, I bought the book. I've used it a little bit, right?
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. Who is this person? And I started listening to her podcast on my walks. And one day I remember I stopped and I emailed myself, sign up for her live launch. And I did. And when I did, I was watching it from both sides. I was watching from, I knew I was being pitched, right? Because that's what you're doing. And I was also watching it from, what are they doing, and trying to kind of reverse engineer it. And I went all the way through the process, and it was a fit for me. It was a fit, and it's a big investment. Let's say I had to have some time in the backyard with my best friend on the phone, to like, okay, what am I doing? But where I was, to answer your question, right before I joined, I had successfully gone through my launch. I made, I think it was $34,000, not where I wanted to be, but I've always been someone who finds what I want, knows how to get there, and then I do what they say. And so that's what I'm doing.
I love that. And so I think it's so important. There's a couple things that you said that I want to just kind of maybe elaborate on. How has the live launch helped you to launch in a way that feels authentic? Because you alluded to like, okay, this other strategy just didn't feel in alignment. How is this kind of giving you the freedom to sell this in a way that didn't feel gross?
Well, the first thing is I love to provide content. I mean, the truth is if somebody were to read every single thing that I put out in the universe, and if they could figure out the path, it's all out there. I don't sort of bait and switch. That's not how my trainings go. And so I'm able to do that. Like you and I met just recently, and I said, am I giving away too much? And you said, no, you're good. You're good. And so that's a way that I can authentically be me. I can help people, and I can be myself. The other thing is, in the live launch on day 4, I want to throw something out about how I learned this. I was launching for the next time, and Teresa said to me, watch these 4 things. And I was like, okay. So she just boiled it down. This is what I think is going to help you get to the next thing. And one of them was, the day 4 and the transition. And I was able to do that with such confidence, not feeling like I was putting anyone down. It's basically, I have this thing. I've shown you who I am. If you're digging this with a shovel, let's go and take the next step if you want to, and there's no like, you're never going to turn your life around, or everything's going to be bad forever. Or, if you were smart, you would do this. It's just like, here I am, come and get it. Arms are open. And that's how I want to be. It took me a long time to find this. I looked for a while.
Well, Belinda, glad you said that, because this is actually the last time that we're offering entrance into the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program. So that this program is actually, where we walk you through, you get the coaching that Belinda's talking about, with the support through your launches, all the things that you've mentioned. This is the last opportunity people have to join this program ever. So knowing that, what kind of advice would you give people who are on the fence, or they're just like, oh, I don't know?
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the thing. If you like the phrase, here you go, then this is for you. Because what happens is, we're in a training, and you're listening and you're absorbing, and sometimes it's a lot and you have questions, and the answer to how do I do this is, here you go. What do you need before your launch? Here you go. And so I feel, though, even though I'm running my business, I'm making the choices, and I'm learning a lot. I feel like everything that I need is at my fingertips. And, I'm the kind of person, I'm very impatient with myself when it comes to, I compete with really no one else but myself, but I'm a pretty hard competitor when it comes to myself. And I get very frustrated if I can't figure something out. And so what the live launch has taught me is that when I ask the question, I get the resources, not in 10 days, but I get them. I get proven something the dance has been done, already danced. So it's not like you guys are making it up and you're not doing it. And, don't fall in this hole. Here's where you should go. And then I can take that and incorporate it into me, and then just get actionable. So there's very few, and I'm all about action. I love action. And I can stay in that action and at my own pace and have the support. So I would say, it was a huge decision for me. It was a huge, decision. And I had never spent that much money on anything for myself like that, like ever. And I had to trust, but mostly I had to trust myself. I had to have the conversation I was having with myself in the backyard. Wasn't, are the resources there? It was, are you ready to step into the resources and be, the business owner you want to be? It's even more than the business owner and more than the CEO. Are you willing to stand in front of this community and lead them? And that makes me cry a little bit, because that's still scary. That's still scary. But I'm doing it.
Yeah. And I just want to kudos to you. You are exactly who we want in this program. So if you're sitting here and you figure out, gosh, I'm just like that, I have this passion in my heart that makes me a little bit teary-eyed when I think about who I need to be in order to fulfill that, then you are our people. And again, I just want to, for those of you who are watching or catching the replays, these are the types of people in our program. Belinda, Heather, Avis, they are driven by much more than money. Do they all like making money? Absolutely. They all like making money. We all like making money. But at the end of the day, there's so much more to what makes our clients successful. And it is that deep drive, and it is that deep sense of calling and passion. And it is scary. I don't think anyone would get on here and tell you there isn't a moment where they were like, oh crap, what am I doing? Like, there's definitely those moments, but that's what we're here to help you work through. That's what we're here for. So Belinda, thank you so much. Is there anything you want to say? Any last bit of advice? I want to give you your Saturday, because it is a Saturday, and I'm so thankful you joined us. Anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, one more thing. I feel like you guys gave me permission. And the question is, why did I need permission? But for whatever reason I did, you gave me the permission to like really speak my voice, instead of, you might try this thing because it could work, probably. I'm like, this is how we do it, and I think that that's helped my leadership, and I think it's helped my community, and people are showing up in my community in a new way once I took that stand, and that is a direct result of UE.
Awesome. Okay, Belinda, I have a request.
Okay.
I want to know, can you share your launch results with us?
Yes, absolutely. So my spreadsheet's not open, but so the first launch I went out, and this was the pre-Kelly launch, and the price was really low. It was $500, and we sold $32,000. So that was my first wing it on my own launch after, reading the, the book, and then, or before reading the book actually. And then the next launch was 43,000. I raised the rate to $997. The next launch was it was $1497. So I raised it again, and we made $52,000. And the next one was $53,000. And I was disappointed that the last one wasn't a six-figure launch. But what I realized later was, we weren't ready. My team wasn't ready. We totally crumbled afterward. I mean, in a serious way. And so now, even though as a VA, my systems rock, we weren't scripted as much as I wanted to be able to create that six-figure launch. And so I don't know if it's going to be the next one or the one after that, because we're launching 7 times this year. But it's going to be this year. And so I'm just, I'm following the path that you guys laid out, listening, learning, and just, and finally enjoying it. Enjoying it and not being afraid. It's more like, bring it on, let's do it again. All right, bring it on, let's do it again.
And I'm not so great at math, but sounds like a couple $100,000.
Yeah. So yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And your product is a one-time purchase, right? So it's not even the recurring. So you've made over $200,000 in that short amount of time launching and cycling with what we would consider a low ticket item.
Right.
Still hit that goal. Am I right in that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah. And I have done the financial projection. So if we continue to bring about $55,000 in every time we launch, because a lot of my people are payment plans, the results, or the money that will start to come in, recurring revenue, that will not stop is $30,000 a month. So there's this cash infusion that happens with the, when people pay in full, because a handful do, but really the recurring revenue. And so it was interesting because the other reason I was a little disappointed about the number was I didn't understand how the recurring revenue was going to work. I thought it was the cash infusion, not the recurring revenue, that was going to feed me. And so I started to lay that out recently. And when I figured that out, I was like, okay, I get that. So that was really interesting.
And that is so, so critical. And this is what's different about how we teach you to do this. We want you to, yes, everyone loves the pay in fulls. It's a great way to, build your emergency fund, pay for something exciting and new or something different, pour into advertising. But we also want you to wake up every first of the month and feel pretty confident that you've got a significant amount of money coming in. So we teach you how to build it in a recurring way so that you're not stressed every month thinking, where is my money coming from? It also means that every launch doesn't have this immense pressure. You can have great launches and you can have not so great launches. And it's okay because you're building your recurring revenue every time. And so you're consistently allowing yourself to have a little bit more peace, a little less stress, and then add in all the other cool things you want to do with the
yeah, absolutely. And I want to put one more thing out, and that is I was very distant from my community. I didn't know how to connect with them. And I didn't even know what a DM was. So you can all laugh at me. I was like, what is that thing? Because I lived a very not offline, but not, my head wasn't in my phone all the time. But you guys really taught me how to get closer to the people I'm helping in a way that, I have stacks of cards. I should show them to you guys sometimes, of people sending me coffee mugs and thank you, and you saved my business, and all this stuff. And it's really because I'm able to start the relationship earlier, like during the time when, the launch is building up. And I had no idea how to do that. And I believe that from what I've learned and what you have, everyone's taught me about that, that's going to be such a gigantic thing that wasn't even on my radar. So I'm excited to see, after I get good at this, what's the next thing? And I'm trying to learn a new skill in between each of the launches, to get to the next place. It's really fun. It's exciting. It's a lot of work, but it's good.
I love that. And again, I just want to, like, Belinda's like the perfect picture. She said, it's really fun, but it's a lot of work. We don't lie over here. It's work. We work hard. Everyone on our team works hard. All of our clients work hard. People don't have multiple 6-7 figure years by just chilling. And if they're telling you that they're doing that, they are lying.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. We work hard, but you don't have to guess. We're going to help support you. We're going to say, here you go. Just like you shared earlier, we're going to help as we learn new things. We're going to teach you them. Hey, we just did this in a launch. It really worked. Try it. Or we did this and it didn't work. Don't do it. We are very, very open with everything that we test and try, because we always teach the baseline. We want everyone to come in, do 6 to 8 launch cycles. We want you to do it the way we teach it without messing with anything. And then as you get more confident, then you can start testing new things. And that's where we are. We're obviously in a stage of testing. And as we test, we come back and say, here's what we learned, here's what we do. So you get the real-time feedback, which is so rare in online spaces. They give you your little course and then it's, in a year it's updated. Yes.
Yeah.
And then you don't really know, okay, well, this doesn't even make sense anymore. So we like to keep it up to date. Belinda, parting words before you go.
If you want to master this, it's here. You have to jump in, take a breath, and it's definitely here. It's definitely here. And I'd love to see who joins us. It's going to be a very exciting year for all of us.
Yeah. Thank you, Belinda. Have an awesome rest of your Saturday.
I will. All right. Thanks.
Bye. Bye. All right. I see questions rolling in. So I'm going to try to answer these questions because I told you guys I would. Jackie wants to know, how many people did you pitch? Okay. So Jackie, we teach you a general percentage wise is 2.5% of total registrants, people who sign up for your launch, will buy. So 2.5% conversion rate. Now, as you launch cycle, you will get your own numbers, right? You might say, well, I closed 5%, or I've only been able to close 1 to 2%. We'll help you work on that closing percentage inside our program, but that's the baseline we ask everyone to start at. Assume a 2.5 conversion rate of registrants, and then we go from there once you get some data, some statistics. Mick, recurring revenue is the bomb. What's usually the percentage split between payment plan and paid in full? Keith, we've had this all over the place. I don't know that I can give you like a real stable. We've had some launches where it's 50-50. We've had some where it's 80-20. At our price point, a lot of people do the payment plan. When it was lower, we would have a pretty significant percentage do pay in full. But there are always people like for our payment, for our pay in full, you get a 10% discount. And there's just people who can't resist a 10% discount, which in this case is $3,000. So people really want to take advantage of that. So it's usually, you know, it can be all over the place, and it depends on your price point. Sometimes time of year, you know, sometimes people have like their tax refunds and they're dropping this big payment. We have people who, you know, we have people come in, we will actually honor, if you come in on a payment plan, you have up to 5 months to pay it off and pay in full and still get the 10% discount. So we have people come in with the payment plan, and then they do a couple of successful launches and pay off their balance. That happens often. So I can't give you a really specific number there. Jackie, we recommend 6 to 8 launches per year. It's the same launch though. So you're not recreating it. You create it one time, you sell into the same program, and you do it 6 to 8 times. Okay, I think that's it. Other questions that you guys have while I'm still on? I want to make sure that I can answer all of those questions for you. I'm going to go through just some other frequently asked ones until you guys share your questions. Thoughts on currency to change if not in US, but launches global? To charge. I would say wherever the largest majority of your audience is, I would go with that. So if your audience is in US, then US. If your audience is in Canada, then Canada. So I would do that. We have clients who launch in other countries, and they launch to people in that country, and they charge their native currency. This is not really dependent on that. You can really do this however makes sense for you and your business and wherever you are. Okay, a couple of other questions we get. How much time will it take for me to see a return? And I love this questions. So how much time will it take? This is completely dependent on where you are in your business. Like I said, we have people come in very established. They have everything mapped out, and they really just need to put the pieces together and make them happen. They can sometimes launch within 2 to 3 weeks before, because they already have the audience established. That is not the norm. Many people come in and it will take a little while. So maybe you're coming in and you don't have an offer fully dialed in. We would take the time to, you know, get your offer dialed in, and then you would build out your launch. Maybe you are coming in and you have lots of small offers. We have people come in and they have like a little course here and a mini course here, and we will help you put that together into a bigger offer that you can charge high ticket for. So that's also an option. That will take a little time to build out, a couple of weeks, nothing crazy. We don't want you going months and months without launching. If you're launching, we want you to come in and be able to launch. So we help you do this as quickly as possible, but everybody comes in a different place. We recommend at least 300 people signed up for your workshop. So some of you can send 2 emails to your list and post in a Facebook group, and you get 300 people signed up. Some of you are literally going to have to go find 300 people, in which case we would say, okay, it's time to start earlier. You're going to have to build in more time for your launch versus someone who's coming in with a built-in audience. So the timeline to see a return is extremely varied, and that's okay, because everyone is running their own race in business. And depending on what stage of business you're in, if you're coming in, you've already run $1 million business and you're just launching, your team can go into place. We've had people at that stage come in and their first launch do a $350,000 launch. We also have people come in with 0, and in 6 to 12 weeks, they do their first launch and it's a 10K launch or 12K launch, but they came in with 0. And the next time they do it again and they keep growing. So it's very dependent on your stage and season of business. It's dependent on the amount of time you can invest. It is dependent on your current audience. But if you show up, you do the work, you'll start to see movement in the direction of your goals, and you'll compound that month over month with every launch you do. Okay, I need to write out my program before I launch, right? Jessica, so we do this a couple ways. Some people come in, they already have programs, and we just refine it. Others, we will teach it live. So let's say we didn't have anything, and actually it's how this program started. This program started with 3 people on a conference call line with Kelly, and it was literally, there was no membership site. It was literally just a weekly call with Kelly. That was it. And what she did was she would walk them through different trainings, take those trainings, put them in the membership site so that when new people came in, they had content to work through. And then she did the hot seat coaching on the calls. So it depends, Jessica. If you have stuff already made, you might be able to use that and maybe add on some live elements, or you can create a section of it before you start selling it before your launch, and then do the rest live and add to the site. Everybody does this a little differently. We help you figure that out, and we help you determine what the best strategy is for you. So the bonuses, I'm so glad you asked. The bonuses this round, there are a couple of spots left, but they are going away. So you need to grab them. If you decide to do a pay in full, so you decide I want to save the 10%, you get that $3,000 off, you will get 3 months of one-to-one coaching with Kelly. That means you will meet with Kelly 1 time per month for the first 3 months of your time in our program to work on whatever you want to work on. I guarantee that will speed up the results so quickly, getting that clarity immediately. It's going to be so helpful to you. So if you pay in full, you get one-on-one coaching with Kelly for the first 3 months. If you do a payment plan, you get one-on-one coaching with me for the first 3 months. So same thing, one-on-one coaching for the first 3 months. We are going to get really intentional. This is one-to-one. We do not offer this. So if you wanted one-on-one coaching with Kelly, that would be 1 time a month, 1 session a month. That would be $15,000. So you're getting that for free. If you wanted it with me, and we don't even offer it, so I don't know, that would probably be like $8,000 or $9,000. You're getting those for free to make sure that you have extreme clarity in everything you're doing inside the program. It'll also speed up the ability you have to launch, to build your leads, to get everything up and running. So those are the bonuses. At what stage do you help with creating an actual program that I'm selling? And if it's workbook and actual trainings after the live? Heather, so I don't know if I completely understand this. I'm going to answer it and you can tell me if I'm answering what you're asking. Before a launch, you need to have your workbook created. We don't do that for you. We'll help you map out the pillars of your launch. You create that. That does need to be done before the launch. So just like you guys joined this workshop and got our workbook, you want all of that done before your launch. The program, like what you're selling people into, if you don't already have it made, you can start it live and do the coaching live, and then just take the recordings and put them into a membership site. You don't have to create everything all before you launch. But again, we help you work through exactly what that looks like inside of our program, because it is a little bit different depending on what you're coming to the table with. Is there an alternative to 15 shopping cart, or is that good? I have never heard of 15 shopping carts, so I don't know. We've used many payment processors in the past. We've used a Thrivecart, we've used Stripe, we've used PayPal, we've used a lot of different things. So any way people can pay you is a good way to get paid. Okay. I don't have a general free Facebook group yet. It sounds like I need to plan for it to take a month. It depends, Anne. So again, so this is why what we do is so customized, because Everyone is different. So I just want to put that caveat out there. I would say if you're literally starting from zero, yes, you'd probably want to give yourself at least a month to invite people to that. And usually we'll have people come in, set their first launch date within, if you joined us today, we'd probably have you set your launch date about 4 to 6 weeks out, just to make sure you get really well set up and you can generate the leads you need to generate. The one caveat to that is if you're going to use ads. So ads are kind of like jet fuel, right? Like they speed up the process, in which case you could go much quicker. But if you're doing it completely organically, which we teach, so you're fine if that's your method, then we would have you map it out a little bit longer. But Monday, we are literally doing a strategic planning session for the full quarter, where you're going to look at your goals. You're going to look at what needs to be set up. You're going to map out your launches, and you will have that all done Monday. This is like the best time to join us, because we're literally doing a almost full day strategic planning session for Q2 on Monday at 11 o'clock Eastern. So you will literally leave that session with your plan, and then we'll work with you to implement that. But we are walking you through every piece of it. So the strategic planning session on Monday is going to get you completely set up and on path for the rest of the year, for the rest of the quarter. And then we do that every quarter. There's a quarterly strategic planning session every quarter. Okay. In terms of landing page, what do you recommend? Is it, so we don't do funnels because we do live launches and we don't need funnels. I mean, I say that all sales is a funnel, right? You have top of funnel, middle of funnel, ready to buy. So everything's in a funnel in terms of you have to build your audience, you have to invite them, you have to sell to them. However, we don't set up like ClickFunnels things where it's like all these bump orders and 25 different things. We're selling a high ticket program through the live launch as an experience and an active service in the way that we teach. And if you want to work with us because you totally vibe with that and think it's like the place to be for you to grow and accomplish your goals, then we're here to help you do that. So you don't need funnels. We've used lead pages for landing pages. We use our website. We've used HubSpot for landing pages. You don't need anything fancy. And when Kelly started launching with that one person, there were no landing pages, no emails, none of that. She started with none of that. So if you're more established and you've already got something, you can use it. We don't have a specific technology that you have to use. We don't expect you to change that. Like, it's totally fine to use what you have. I hired a contractor recently for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to generate leads. I published a book last year and I'm writing my second. We'll be finished. I'm creating a program alongside the current book, so I have something to offer. Working full-time makes this a slow process. Desiree, here's the deal. I'm going to tell you that when you're working full-time, it's your superpower if you allow it to be. So the beauty of working full-time while you're building your business is that you have to be ruthless about what you spend your time on. And we are going to help you do that inside the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program, because there are many things that are wonderful, but not critical in that first year while you're still working full-time. So we are going to help you get crystal clear on 2 to 3 activities that have to be done. And then everything else is just a good, okay, maybe, cool, that's awesome. So Desiree, if you are interested, hop on the phone with whoever your concierge is and they'll walk you through that. But please know that a lot of times you're spending your time on things that aren't going to move the needle. They're great later on if you're full-time in your business, but they're not necessarily the best place to spend your time if you are still working full-time. And we want to help you just get like crazy focused in the little bit of time that you have. And we know how to do that, because not only did Kelly do that when she started this business, we've helped lots and lots of people do that. Okay. Awesome. Any other questions? I don't see any others. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Remember, the Unstoppable Entrepreneur Program, as you know it, is completely disappearing after next week. You will not be able to join us in this program. We are going to work with whoever signs up over the next 12 months. Those people will be able to launch 6 to 8 times. I want you to write down what would happen if you launched 6 to 8 times in the next year. Even if you made 50 grand each launch. What would that look like for you? Maybe you're more established. What if you made 300 grand each launch? We have had people come in at multi-million-dollar levels of business, show up and do launches where it was never lower than $300,000 in sales. What would that look like for you? So here's the deal. You guys have until the end of next week to join us. That is truly it. And then the Unstoppable Entrepreneurs program is gone. It's gone. So get on a call with your concierge. If you haven't yet already, fill out the application. If you guys will drop the link to the application here and then also on Facebook, so that if you haven't applied, that's the simplest way for us to assess your business, determine if you are a good fit. Not everybody is, and we will be very honest with you if you're not. Fill out the application, get on a call with your concierge, ask all your questions. They will look at your application, assess whether or not we feel like you're a good fit, and then we'll tell you, hey, come on over, or this isn't the right place for you right now. So join us inside UE for the very last time. Josette asked why we're stopping UE. So Josette, we have some like amazing things planned for Q1 and 2 of next year. And because the Unstoppable Entrepreneurs program is a year-long program, we have to at some point stop selling it, because obviously we're going to keep delivering it for a year and there's some redundancies to what we're doing. That's pretty amazing and pretty huge that we can't quite reveal yet, but we will in a few months. So we just had to choose an end date to stop selling. So we love this program. This program has literally helped hundreds of people make 6- and 7-figure leaps in their business in a bajillion different industries. So it is incredibly high value, and we cannot wait to work with this last crew through this, and then share what we're evolving into. So this is your last chance though. That's not like we don't do like fake scarcity. That's not what this is. Like, it's really going to end on February 1st. That's our end goal. Okay, I am going to hop off. The concierge team will stay on for a few minutes if you have questions. If not, please fill out the application. Derek just dropped the link there. Again, it's just a simple way to help us assess your business. I do highly recommend, if you already know you're going to join us, do it today. So you can just go about your business, have a great weekend, and join us Monday so that you can be on that strategic call. That is going to set you up for massive success. And you can always watch the recording. Of course, we have the recording, but doing it live with us is going to be really, really helpful to you, because obviously you can ask questions live. So if you already know, you've already applied, maybe you've already taught your concierge, get in here now. Let's do this thing already. So you can just go have fun today and tomorrow, and join us Monday for that strategic call. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off. Your team is here if you need help in the chat.